heroism. It's the pursuit of two ideals, excellence and a higher purpose. This noble mission is not just found in Hollywood. It's a game changer for businesses devoted to it. Almost all business owners launch their company to make a difference in the world around them. Join us on the Heroic Experience as we talk with business owners, senior leaders, and established entrepreneurs so that you too can elevate your business to heroic success. Now, here's your host, John D. Hanson.
Welcome back to another episode of the Heroic Experience. We are proudly sponsored by Kaufman Media. Check out their digital signage solutions and far more on their website, kaufmanmedia.com. That's spelled COFFMAN media.com. So happy to have Chris Inman. He's the owner and founder of I.D.E.A Cleveland as our guest today. I've had the privilege of working with him at his facility in Cleveland, state of the art, loved it. So happy to have him as our guest today. Chris, we start off every first segment with some of the wow stories of clients that have worked with you and are so glad they did. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this with you.
Yeah, so what are some of the best stories you've got? We usually have time for two or three of clients that have worked with you and are so glad they did.
Yeah, we're a video marketing agency, and, it's kind of different than like your standard video production companies, because we are trying to help you market your business. It's not just creating videos that you put on YouTube and videos you put on your website. I mean, there's more to it.
Yes.
So when we work with clients, traditionally, there's a whole strategy involved.
Okay.
It's not just one magical video. So like there's a client that we work with. His whole marketing agency is rounded around superheroes.
Cool.
So we created a whole open that's similar, like if you've ever been to a Marvel movie and there's that Marvel intro.
Yeah.
So we redid that, but with imagery from his corporation and his clients and his company. And it was really neat.
Yeah.
And there's things like that you could do to really brand your content. So when people see it, they really get the idea of what you're trying to sell, type of thing. And that's kind of the important thing, is you want to create a brand image.
Right.
So that's one thing we've done, the brand imaging, bring in special effects and graphics and such. But then the other thing is, like, you want to use your content to the fullest extent that you can.
Yes.
So, like, we have another client. He goes live on Fox Business.
Okay.
So we can look at the numbers, and there's about 20,000 people that watch Fox Business per hour.
Okay.
But we reuse that content for him to put on his Twitter account.
Ah.
And he gets about 10,000 views on Twitter with the same content.
Uh-huh.
So you would think, I'm going live on TV, I'm going to get all this viewers. But you can get viewers and interaction on social media with the same content.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that goes into that whole reusing and repurposing type.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many people, they make like one video and they think they can. That's it. But you got to repurpose it and you got to share it. You got to put it out there.
Yeah, I saw in one of your posts recently, Chris, where you said, and I loved this line: "Forget about viral. Forget about trying to get that one." You said magic bullet just a little bit earlier in this segment. Forget about trying to be viral. And that's where the strategic piece, I think, really comes in, is more important than, because you're dealing with audio, you're dealing with video, you're dealing with graphics, you're dealing with content. There's so many pieces that go into compelling video that ties into, you said it, brand image, the brand you're trying to create and support. It can't be a video that just gets hot all of a sudden, that you and I know, and you know this better than I do. The odds of something going viral are like winning the lottery. Is that true?
Oh, it is. And it's a lot harder than you think.
Okay.
Take like the Dollar Shave Club. That's like the most viral video everybody really remembers. With the guy walking through the warehouse, and there's like a bear in it, and he's like going from scene to scene. And like they spent so much time keeping that relevant.
Right.
They were sharing it. They were creating accounts and sharing it and showing it. And there's a whole background of work that goes into going viral. It's not just creating a video.
Right.
And hoping for the best.
Right.
There's a strategic plan to that. And yes, it worked for Dollar Shave Club, but unless you're selling razors, which is generally 50%, 100% of the population, basically. I mean, they were selling just men's razors, but everybody uses a razor, basically.
Right.
Unless you're selling a product that can go out to the masses, there's no need to go viral because that's not all your clients. It's not ideal for everybody to see your stuff. Like, if you're a B2B and, you help businesses with their accounting, all right. So you help small business owners with their accounting, with software and development. You create a viral video of your people doing something ridiculous. I always say this. You can always create a viral video by doing something stupid.
Right.
But does that bring in leads?
Yes.
Does that bring in sales? A viral video doesn't necessarily create those things.
Right. How many popular commercials are there on TV? Does that drive anyone to buy the insurance or whatever those or more beer or whatever those catchy commercials
exactly.
are?
I love the ones where don't turn into your parents.
Right.
And,
progressive, yeah.
But you know what? To be honest with you, I can't tell you what insurance company that is right now.
Yeah, that's where, and I think that's too goes in line with, you talked about brand image again. So let's say you've got this great, funny, ridiculous, falling down, funny video, and then the people meet your team, and there's nobody on your team that has that kind of humor. There's this instant disconnect of, wait a minute. So for smaller companies in particular, this is not, it's incongruous. It doesn't match up. So it'd be better to be authentic and to be to the point and thoughtful and provoking, taking action, rather than being funny and viral and everybody's talking about it. Would that be true?
That's 100% true. I mean, if you think about it, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
It's a common marketing phrase that your listeners probably already know about.
Right.
If you just develop in content so people get to know who you are, they kind of like your personality.
Yep.
I mean, you could take a stance.
Sure.
And you can kind of like say, oh, these are the type of people I am. This person, either like me or don't like me. That's fine.
Right.
And then people trust you because of you're being authentic, as you're saying.
Right.
And I think like that brings up another great example. Like, we do a lot of podcasts for clients. And I think podcasting really is one of the best forms of building relationships with people. I mean, you're out there, you're putting out your personality, you're interviewing people, you're helping them. That's another key thing. You got to help people.
Right.
Help. Stop selling, start helping. That's another common phrase. I love using quotes and phrases.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Somebody wrote a book on that.
Yes.
Tt White, is that right?
Matt White, that is correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I got that book and greatly enjoyed it. It really transformed our messaging when I read it, a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I even gave you that book.
Yeah, well, that could be, because I remember someone recommended it or sent it to me, and it was probably you, because I loved that messaging. Well, we're up against a break. Believe it or not, Chris, the time flies on this. When we come back, I am looking forward to hearing your story, because I don't know I know pieces of your story, but I don't know it. And I'm looking forward to you sharing it with me and with our listeners when we come back. Stay tuned for segment 2 when we ask Chris, tell us about your story. Go back as far as you like. If you'd like to hear more of the Heroic Experience, we're on Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, on Accelerated Revenue, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. Come back and see us after the break.
Inspire, influence, and connect your audience with digital signage. Kaufman Media offers customizable digital signage solutions designed to meet your company's specific goals. Whether you need digital menu boards for your quick service restaurant, digital displays for marketing in your retail stores, or wayfinding and unified communications for your schools, your corporations, or your healthcare facility, our customizable, affordable options and proven experience make us the only partner you'll need for your next digital signage project. Visit kaufmanmedia.com today to learn more. That's COFFMAN media.com.
Would you buy a car from a dealer without a test drive first? For your business, a consulting partner is even more important. Accelerated Revenue is excited to announce the Take Us for a Test Drive event. Receive 2 exclusive workshops on customer experience and winning culture, a customized culture snapshot, and a leadership strategy session worth over $10,000, all in for just $2,500. Best of all, when you onboard our consulting team, we'll credit you the entire $2,500. Spots are limited, so visit our website today at accrev.com/test drive.
Check out John's worldwide selling book, Wow Your Customers, 7 Ways to World-Class Service on Amazon. Now, once again, here's John.
Welcome back to the Heroic Experience. We are so grateful that we're sponsored by Kaufman Media. You think you know all about digital signage? Well, you need to visit their website and find out all the things you didn't know about it. Check out kaufmanmedia.com. That's their website. It's spelled COFFMAN media.com. Happy to have Chris Inman. He's the owner and founder of I.D.E.A Cleveland as our guest today. I love video. Not only is it one of the most popular formats of how people like to engage nowadays, but there's a good way to do it, there's a better way to do it, and there's a best way to do it. And that's what I'm looking forward to hearing from Chris. But before we get into that, especially in segment 3, a deep dive there, I want to hear your story. And I'm sure our listeners would too, Chris. Go back as far as you'd like and share your story with us.
Yeah, all right. So, let's start off. I don't know, not everybody. A lot of people probably have seen the show The Goldbergs, right?
Yes.
And Adam Goldberg was that nerdy kid that did videos in school. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
I don't have as many fun home videos like that, but I started off in high school and I was recording the basketball games and the plays, and we were editing and all that, and I really fell in love with it. And this is back in the 90s when it was like VHS,
Yeah, really manual, yeah.
Yes, very manual, deck-to-deck editing.
Right.
It was, so that's where my story really begins, my love of this field. And so then I went to school at Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh, and there was a TV station, and I worked at that, and then like my senior year, I was facilities coordinator, and then I ended up in Cleveland. How does a Pennsylvania kid end up in Cleveland? But my wife, who I met actually on the 3rd day of school, and we've been together ever since.
Cool.
Drug me up here, a Steelers fan, kicking and screaming.
You're right.
And I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And I got an amazing opportunity at this company, Classic Worldwide Productions.
Okay.
In Brecksville, Ohio. And there I started off as a PA, but there was so many experiences because they had a contract with the Indians and the Cavs and the Browns, and we were doing stuff with Goodyear. And, there were so many things that I did. And during that time, I really concentrated on video production.
Okay.
The quality of video.
Yeah.
And the gear of video. And, I had some amazing things that I got to do. Like the day after LeBron was drafted by the Cavs, I shot a commercial. It was me, a producer, and LeBron James in a room shooting a ticket from a spot.
Wow.
And throughout LeBron's first tenure here, there was our studio. LeBron would come in. We'd do Nike spots with him, Sprite, all kinds of stuff, Gatorade. And it was pretty amazing to work on those type of productions. And I learned so much. But then there was a downsizing, and our field is really filled with freelancers.
Yes.
Like people that don't work full-time.
Right.
So the company was like, we're just going to go full freelance. We can't afford to keep people here all the time. So then I was laid off. And that's when I started my second career, and that was like full-time father. And that was awesome. I had my 2 kids. I spent so much time with them. Cool. I think it's funny when you get laid off. At the moment, you're like, oh, this is horrible.
Right.
But then looking back, I'm like, we never went hungry. I always found work enough that we were able to like live and have vacations and everything still. Yeah. But I got to spend time. I got to like wake up on a Monday morning and be like, hey, we're going to the zoo, and take my kids to the zoo when they were like, before they went to kindergarten, like when they were little kids. Yeah. So it was pretty awesome. And then I started, this YouTube thing really started exploding at this time.
Right.
So then I'm like really like looking into this. I'm like, all right, everybody should have a YouTube channel. And I started going out and finding clients, and we started making, great little interview videos and testimonials, which I think testimonials are the best form of video you can make. I mean,
absolutely.
Let's be honest. All those late-night TV shows were full of testimonials.
Right.
And they sold all kinds of stuff. So I think it's great content that everybody should think about having.
Yeah.
So that really got me into this whole dive into the marketing side of the field.
Okay.
Because I've always really thought about the gear, the equipment, the video. But at the end of the day, video production, you know, a lot of that I interact with throughout the years, we care about the quality of the video, but we don't care about the outcome of the video.
More like artistic as opposed to combining the art into something that encourages people to develop relationships or buy and sell.
Correct. We always looked at our needs and desires in the sense of like, oh, we want this drone shot because it's going to look beautiful at the beginning. Well, we're spending the client's money to create this drone shot, but at the end of the day, they're not getting more leads.
Right.
They're not making more sales from that. And that's when it really flipped the switch. And it was definitely when my company's relatively young. I mean, we're not even a year old yet. And we're a video marketing agency. And the reason I put it out that way is because I'm not a production company anymore, really. What I really want to do is help your business grow. If you're a client of mine, that's my mission.
Sure.
My mission's, I happen to make videos.
Right.
But my mission is to help you market your company. And that's really what I do now. Now, on a side note, because I mentioned earlier I was a Steelers fan.
Right.
But now if you know me, I'm a Browns fan. You're like, how'd that happen? It's because my one gig that I still keep from my old life is a media liaison for the Browns.
Oh, cool.
So there's two of us, my buddy Steve.
Wow.
And the two of us are the in-between of Fox, CBS, ESPN, NFL Network, all of them, and the building.
Wow.
And we help them coordinate from fiber to electricity to parking their trucks, all that stuff. It's an awesome gig. And honestly, you know, I was a Steelers fan for like 20 plus, you know, more than 20, or like 30 years. And then all of a sudden I switched over and everyone's like, how do you switch to a Browns fan? I'm like, well, because they pay me, honestly. But honestly, though, I feel that I'm a Clevelander. Even though I grew up in Pennsylvania, I am a full-fledged Clevelander now, and I'm proud to be a Browns fan.
I feel you on that one because I was born in Western New York in Rochester, but I've been connected with Central Ohio since '93, and that's quite a period of time if you do the math, which I'm not good at right off the top of my head. And I feel like I've adopted it too. Central Ohio has so many great relationships and friends. I'm more connected by far to this area than where I grew up. And so I can totally identify with that. We've got about a minute left before our next break, believe it or not. But I wanted you to reflect on this real quick, Chris. You have the advantage, I think it's an advantage, huge advantage, in video production to have experienced. You're kind of in that bridge generation like I am, Gen Xers, where we know what it was like before and we know what it's like now. Whereas the young producers that have always grown up with fast-moving technology that's, in my mind, mind-blowing. It's remarkable. How has that helped you? You got about 30 seconds. How has that helped you as a video producer, remembering the good old days compared to what you can do now?
Well, you know what? It's technology is advanced and it made things easier. But it's also made things easier for people to do it themselves, which is ultimately a good thing at the end of the day. Because, you know, small business owners need to do video marketing. They don't always have a budget. But you know what they do have? A cell phone. And it's awesome that they start off by creating their own content with the devices they have, their cell phone. Zoom is an amazing technology to help people have interviews like we're having here, and you could put it up on your YouTube channel. And it's just amazing. And I think that the old school people are scared of technology because it replaces them.
Well, we'll come back,
but
third segment, Chris, and we will get into the details of this. I'm so looking forward to it. Join us back after the break.
Did you know that 70% of U.S. residents 12 and older recall seeing digital signage in the past week? Digital signage provides a 35% reduction in perceived wait time with a 30% increase in a customer's in-store browsing time. Kaufman Media offers customizable digital signage solutions designed to meet your company's specific goals. Christina said,
"We love our digital signage. The software is easy to use and we can publish content in minutes. It allows for every department to be seen and have a voice."
Visit kaufmanmedia.com today to learn more. That's COFFMAN media.com.
Attention event planners. Is your company or association planning a conference, seminar, or staff retreat? Are you looking for fresh ideas on high-demand topics like customer experience, leadership, empathy, customer service, earning and keeping trust, and more? Then you need to book John D. Hansen as your next speaker. Brooke said,
"Great presentation. John's concepts help shift my thinking. A good fit for my life right now."
read more testimonials, discover John's full list of speaking topics, check out pricing and more on our website, accrev.com/keynote.
Would you like to be a guest on the Heroic Experience? Contact us at john.hansen@accrev.com. Now, once again, here's John.
Welcome back to the Heroic Experience. We are proudly sponsored by Kaufman Media. Check out their digital signage solutions and far more on their website, kaufmanmedia.com. That's spelled COFFMAN media.com. Happy to have Chris Inman, owner, founder of I.D.E.A Cleveland, as our guest today. And congratulations on the start of your video marketing agency, Chris. It's such a timely period in history to be going into that field. And I should look forward to diving into this segment because this is where we're really going to get into.
This is my favorite segment. This is the one where I hope everybody stuck around for.
Yeah, nuts and bolts.
Some value here.
That's right. Yeah. So let's start off with
value, and this is our chance.
Yeah. What is the best way for people to check you out, to get in contact with you?
All right. So you can always look me up on LinkedIn,
yep,
or you can go to IDEACleveland.com, and my Twitter handle is @IDEACleveland.
Okay.
Those are the easiest ways to, get in touch with me, and I'm super active on all those content, and you can always reach out to me. I'm always here to help, especially small business owners.
Yeah. Yes.
Because, video marketing is the great balancer in money and exposure. Because, like we were just talking about before, you pull out your cell phone. If you made a video on your cell phone every day, like 2 minutes,
right,
helping out your ideal clients and posting it on your social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, whatever your ideal clients are at, people are going to start following you, and they're going to start getting to know who you are, liking you, and trusting you. It's like that whole thing that we talked about in that first segment. And so I think it's important that people know kind of like a secret sauce of how to get the most out of something.
Yeah, and let's dispel the myth that it doesn't have to be expensive, because people are thinking, number one, it does not have to be expensive, and it's actually better if does not look like a television commercial. Would you say both of those are true?
I agree. I said this the other day. I was having a conversation with somebody, and like business owners, they think that their content has to look like a Fortune 500 company content. It doesn't, though, because people aren't hiring you based on production quality.
No.
They're hiring you based on your expertise in a field.
Right.
Now, you got to have a decent microphone so everyone can hear you.
Right.
You need to have decent lighting so you're not sitting in the dark in a silhouette.
Right.
But these things can be bought on Amazon.
Yes.
Relatively cheaply these days.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yeah.
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 So I kind of just want to get into like a secret sauce of how to get the most out of your video content. So
awesome.
Let's say that you interviewed somebody on a Zoom call and you recorded it.
Okay.
All right. What should you do with that to get the most value? You post it first on YouTube. Now, a lot of people will tell you how YouTube doesn't have value in this SEO, but YouTube is the second largest search engine.
Heck yeah.
Spend all this time on your website. Spend some time on YouTube. Develop a channel on YouTube. You can go to canva.com, create graphics. It's an amazing software out there. Again, it's free. Canva's free. Go out and use it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys stuff to do that you can do, DIY it. And so now that you have your YouTube, embed it on your website. Why do you do this? You do this because Google owns YouTube. They like that.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Number two, your SEO goes up by dwell time. So if somebody's on your website for 10 minutes, that helps your SEO. It's another thing.
Right.
Yeah. So there's advantages of embedding that onto your website. Now what you need to do is add a description there's some software out there, Descript's one that I use, that can transcribe that.
Okay.
All right, that podcast. You then create that into a blog. That then gives you your keyword search for SEO. So now you have the video, you have a blog underneath it. Now what do you do with that? Now you share it on your social media, the link to that landing page.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've created some backlinks,
Yep.
which backlinks help your SEO. You know what it also does is when people are following you on social media, they're coming back to your homepage, your website. And when they
Right.
go there, have a call to action.
Yes.
It could be book a meeting. It could be sign up for our newsletter. It could be whatever your call to action might be. Maybe you have something great. You have a success scorecard that helps clients out. Have a call to action, though. Now you got them into your database. You have them now into your list of potential clients.
Right.
And that's ultimately what you're trying to do. So now you got the blog with your SEO. You have the long form on YouTube. You have it on your website. Now, take small segments of that YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
Put those on your social media. Now, there's things you have to do to format it to get the most interaction. You know, you got to add graphics, subtitling. There's software out there that does that too. Descript, the software I talked about, you can edit and you can add subtitles. Those open captions.
Okay.
Those are called, generally what I'm saying. And Descript does that for you. You can do that right there in that software. Now, when you go through your new Twitter, I love Twitter. It's one of my new favorites. LinkedIn is my number one, and Twitter's my number two. I'm really enjoying Twitter a lot. But if you really think about it, there's not that many videos on Twitter.
Huh.
You really do stand out. If you can put out there a video every other day or every day, I mean, if you do a 10-minute interview,
right,
you can easily make that 5 1-minute segments. There's got to be at least 5 little segments there.
That
and
are
you
nuggets.
put it on your Twitter.
Yeah.
And then again, first comment, have it a link to your website. Bring people back. That backlink thing.
Yes.
Get people to watch the full episode. I think so often people make content. I've had clients or potential clients send me, they're like, I have these videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I look and I'm like, they're amazing. These are really well produced. But you got 3 views.
You're right.
And they go, yeah. And I go, well, how are you promoting this stuff?
Right.
And they say, well,
you
can't just build it and expect people to come.
You mean the
you're
Field
not
of Dreams
building
approach?
a magical field in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
You have to bring people. You have to promote it. You have to bring people to your content. And I think that's what the number one problem is with people is they don't promote the content properly.
Promotion and CTAs, calls to action.
Call to action, yeah. Because you can have this great content and everyone
Right.
watches it, but if you have no call to action, what's the point?
What's the point? Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. What would be we got about a minute left here. Time just goes so fast, Chris. What would you say for some great tips on CTAs? Calls to action. Like people we got the promotion thing, I got to promote it better, but CTAs, I kind of feel like it's pushing or it's selling. How would you address that?
Oh, I think some of the best calls to action are watch this free seminar. And they clicked it, they put in their information, they immediately get a link to watch it then. Don't do webinars that, you're signing up for like 4 weeks in advance. The person is immediately ready to watch this webinar. There's software out there that you can run your same webinar. It looks live like every hour.
Right.
So they pick a time when they want to do it.
Yep.
Use content like that because they're ready and they're willing to engage in your company.
Yes.
And your content immediately. Do it immediately.
Yeah. Make it easy for them to engage with you.
If you push your webinar like, in 3 weeks, I'm going to do something for you.
Too far out.
They're going to forget all about you.
Yep.
They're going to move on.
Yep.
People don't have that kind of attention span or willingness to wait.
Yes. Yes. So giving away value is another way for you to engage with them. And now they're entered into that process of deepening that relationship. You can't just jump from like to trust. You've got to have something that they like that's of your content they can digest at any time that works for them that then feeds into the things that start bringing in revenue for you. Thank you so much, Chris. Man, we could talk so much more on this. Thank you for being our guest today. Again, you've got to go back through this episode. Take notes if you're a business owner because these are some fantastic tips on how you can get your business and your name out there. We are committed to elevating your business to heroic success. Join us back again in the Heroic Experience.
This has been the Heroic Experience. To learn how your business can be profitable and heroic, visit ACCREV.com. For access to free weekly content, subscribe to the Accelerated Revenue YouTube channel and follow John D. Hanson on LinkedIn. To listen to archived shows, find them on the Accelerated Revenue website under the Resources tab, ACCREV.com.